Welcome back to another round of sets with my dream team, Hypno, Azu, and Reggie. This time we went 21-4, and that is pretty amazing considering that I'm not that great. But it's pretty awesome because we are at the rank 8 now, and we gained about, well, we were at 2300 and we got dropped down to like 2100, and then now we got back up to almost 2300. So it's been going up and down, but this team is working out for me. And I'm going to stick it out for the rest of the season with this team because my goal is to get to rank 10 and I'm taking you guys on that journey. So let's get started. And also, I don't know if you guys seen it, but everybody's struggling out there. So this season gonna be pretty rough. And it is. I feel like I was countered the whole time. At one sets I did like, what was it? I think the one before I did 15 wins, yeah, and 10 losses, which is not so bad. It's still positive, but the 21-4 is like, yes. And I was up against some really great trainers, by the way. So now this in first matchup, I had a great lead, and then I swapped out and I'm facing Azu and the one and only Bastidion Wallface. But this is pretty good for me, so pretty good matchup. And I'm gonna do a shield bait right now. Let's hope he gets it. And yes, perfect shield bait. And I just keep going, bubble down. And obviously, I'm not gonna shoot because I know I can get to one more attack. So I'm just gonna throw that. Oh, did you see that? How close it was? Well, so I think I might even lose this game just because I totally messed it up right there. I should have shielded it and throw the Hydro Pump, but not right now. I'm throwing that Flash Cannon, and I should be able to get to another one. And I tried to swap out, but he beat me to it. And I'm still okay. I think I'm gonna win this one. And I'm trying to swap out because I can just like smack it down with the Hypno. That's and I can also tank one Mud Bomb. It's not gonna hurt Hypno because Hypno is pretty tanky actually. And I'm starting to like this team way more than before, and I'm getting to learn my matchups way better. So anytime I face something, I know how to get around things, which is awesome. And now Ice Punch, the Thunder Punch is definitely a better move against Bastidion and Hypno. It's not favorable, but it does a little bit more damage than the, as you can see, double compared to the Ice Punch. And first time ever, I'm able to take out the Bastidion with a Hypno. I never happened before. Usually I'm like, well, if you have Focus Blast, you can, for sure, if you play the shields right. And now I'm still good because I have my Registeel, so I should be able to eat one fast attack from it. I mean, a charge move, which is, not gonna do much. And then my Flash Cannon is ready, so this game is done. Whew. That was actually pretty close. And put below, if you can, just comment it below that what you think about the team, or if you have tried it. And then if you do use Hypno, do you use a, with the two punches? Or is it Fire Punch, is it Ice Punch, is it Thunder Punch? Or what do you use and why? That would be awesome to hear, because I used to have the Shadow Ball, but now I switched it and I'm way better off. I did really good battles with the, with just the two punches. And then it gave me a few like hard times, and I tried to queue for a battle this morning, and it was pretty laggy too, surprisingly, but I got like a widescreen and kicked me out, but luckily it didn't count for a loss. And now right now I'm Hypno and Altaria, so this is good for me, and I'm just gonna farm a little bit and then throw the Ice Punch. Well, actually I've thrown it before. Usually I farm up a little bit so they don't know what I have, but obviously they know that if it has Ice Punch then they're screwed. And I'm of course shielding because it's gonna hurt pretty bad, but I could tank one, but I want my Hypno alive. I played this out so many times now that I did like 150 matches with this team. I've been playing around with what to do with Hypno, and usually I just use both of my shields up with Hypno if I have to, and I do anything impossible to win that first matchup because that changes the game a lot. And before I didn't do that, I would just, alright, sacrifice Hypno and then let's try to control the game, but that didn't work out. One of the battles I think here is like that, when I just gave up control and I lost it. And all the ones that I kept control and did not lose it. Also, when you have an Umbreon lead, that's not the best. And then now, I'm just gonna come in with, I usually come in with Registeel, just because I'm thinking that they might have Grass type in the back, and then they usually stay in. If I would have brought in a Azumarill, they might have swapped out, but they're still staying in, so I'm gonna swap out Azumarill on the next charge move, and it didn't work out, but they swap out, and it's Reggie. So alright, so I'm like, alright, we won this game. At least that's what I'm thinking in my mind. So did we win it or not? Let's find out. So Hydro Pump, I'm throwing that. That's going to do not super effective, but pretty big damage. And then I can tank 1 Flash Cannon, almost 2. It depends on the IVs, really. But definitely, no, just 1, sorry. I can only tank 1, so I have to beat it, and I couldn't. Well, actually, let's see. Do I? Maybe, then I did do. Yeah, there we go, 2. So you can tank 2. But it all comes down to the IVs too, and this Azumarill is like 99.9. It's the best one you can get. Yes. And there goes during the Ice Beam, and I'm almost losing this. It's pretty close actually. So I'm gonna swap out and throw the charge attack with my Ready Flash Cannon with Reggie. Shiny Reggie, remember? Shiny does more damage? No, it's not. But it would be nice. That would be pretty cool. Then everybody would be fighting for the shiny. Just like Shadow, that could be something. Maybe something to think about. And next match up. Is this the one that I'm losing? I'm not sure, actually. We'll find out pretty soon. So, Azu, this is favorable for me, so I hope I'm not losing this one. That would be sad. So, Azu and Hypno. Usually from up here, so they think that I have a Shadow Ball instead of the Thunder Punch, and then I throw 2 in a row. And this overtap undertap is pissing me off because I have lost a few matches for sure for that. Just tapping on it, and it goes to another attack, and then they throw a charge move. Oh, and this is favorable for me too, so let's do that Ice Punch. But I definitely have to shield because Meganium's Frenzy Pens are pretty, or Wine, what is it? Frenzy Pen, right? It's pretty, yep. It's pretty, look at that, bulky. So I didn't shield because I know I could get to another Ice Punch, and then that way I have still a shield left. And if he uses his shield, then I have a shield advantage, and yes, that's good play on his end because he probably knows that I have a Reggie in the back and he's gonna throw the Earthquake. So I have no choice, I know it's an Earthquake, like 100%. So I'm gonna use my shield, and then I can just Flash Cannon it down, but I'm farming up for a little bit energy. I recommend to do that. I learned this from Speedy as Chief 2 and Linden Ryu on the podcast. If you guys not watching the podcast, make sure to check it out, by the way. Oh, and this is tricky. I have to beat him to that Focus Blast, but I know I can because I had more energy. That's why I farmed up right before. But now I have to bail right into Azu, so the charge move go and hit Azu. Perfect. Yes, yes. That's called the Third Shield right there. And if you guys know the podcast, the Third Shield podcast, we had amazing guests, guys. Speedy as Chief 2 was on it. I'm gonna link it in at the end of the video. And we had FP Sticks. We have so many amazing players that are coming on. And Caleb is coming on there. I'm super excited to have him next week. It's gonna be a really great episode. And by the way, after each episode, my points are going up like crazy every time there is an episode because I'm learning so much from them. And that's my goal, to teach everybody on it. And not by me, by the top players. Eventually by me, when we get there, but we're not there yet at all. And bring in the, this is very close, but I mean, I can tank a Hydro Pump, so I don't really mind. But he cannot. So there's the Flash Cannon. And what's in the back? Well, not in the back, but I know I also had more energy because I farmed just a little bit more, so I can beat him to the Flash Cannon. He needs the Focus Blast to end me. So this match was already well done. And perfect. All right, now 3-0. When I'm at 3-0, I'm like, all right, phew. Now the last two, it doesn't really matter what's going to happen because I already positive. Even though you only get like, what, 10 points for 3 wins and 2 losses? It sucks. So let's see. And these trainers are, oh, and by the way, right there, the Chirachi, I have never faced it with Hypno, so I was testing this out, what I should do. So I'm just throwing an Ice Punch, I'm like, I don't know what it's even gonna do. And then I tanked the Doom Desire because I figured it can't be as hard hitting, but I mean, Hypno is pretty low now, so I'm gonna have to shield or swap out on the charge move. And I am trying to throw another one. Just so hopefully he hopes that I have something else than Ice Punch, but I'm not familiar with Chirachi. That's, like I said, I'm a new trainer, so I don't know as much, and now I got stuck. I wanted to swap out, but I couldn't. So now I'm just gonna let it go and keep my both shields. And with Reggie, I can tank this. It's a pretty good chip damage. Like, it's a pretty decent amount, considering that. And I'm farming up and throwing a Flash Cannon. I know it's not effective, but at this range it should be able to end it, but he shields. so I'm gonna have to throw another one. And I was not able to beat him, and it's CMP tie, so he wins, of course. And now I have to shield it because I don't want it any lower, because I don't know what he has in the back. This is still only his first Pokemon, so I have to be very careful here, guys. And okay, that's perfect. So what's in the back? I'm at 0 energy. Oh, it's Azu, so that's perfect. And I have to throw that, and then I have to bail. So I need to throw this, and I need to bail this out. I hope that's what I did, but that's the plan. And because I'm thinking it has Hydro Pump, otherwise he wouldn't brought it in. So now I bring in my own Azu, and he's not swapping, which is a good sign, because that means he doesn't have grass in the back. So I'm like, oh, thank God. And then it's Hydro Pump, so I'm like, alright, I'm gonna win this matchup because he has less health than I do, and all I have to do is just throw the Hydro Pumps. So this is just coming down to basically throwing those Hydro Pumps. And now even an Ice Beam would end it, and I can tank this, so we are good. This is looking good. Is this gonna be 4? I'm gonna win this one too? That's pretty exciting. And I can also tank this. Oh no, it's a Hydro Pump, so I cannot. Oh no, Ice Beam. I figured it's gonna be an Ice Beam. Now that I'm rewatching it, I figured that's an Ice Beam. But I didn't want to risk it because I wanted to farm it down, because I had a feeling it's Altaria, so otherwise he would have swapped it out. And now I have 2 Ice Beams, so it's perfect. Otherwise, if I wouldn't farm it down, he could have win this matchup. Because he could have farmed down my Azu, and then just throw the attack on the Reggie, and Reggie was very low, so I had to farm it down. And those little things that I learned literally from the last podcast from Speedy with the farming, then if I wouldn't know that, I would have lost that matchup. Alright, the last one. So is it going to be 5-0? I don't think this was a 5-0. I definitely don't think it's a 5-0. I didn't want to share a 5-0 because I wanted something that you guys learn from. And then here, when I see a Skarmory, I'm like, alright, this is a good matchup. I have Thunder Punch, so I win this. But watch this, guys, because I'm actually going to lose this matchup, surprisingly. So I did not know that, so after this I went to and run the simulation on PV Poke, which I recommend to do so, by the way, to see why I lost this, because I shouldn't have. But I mean, if he commits 2 shields, he loses this, because he can tank more than I can tank. But if I would have tanked one, no, I don't think I would have won this either. So I'm gonna shield because I want to win this matchup, but he's going to shield also when I throw this Thunder Punch, and I think he CMP tie and he beats me. I think that's what's gonna happen. I should have won this matchup. He's gonna shield it and attack incoming, and I'm out of shield, and at this point he would take me out. So if I would have let one hit me, I might, and shield the last 2, I might have won that one. But that's good to know. But now I can farm down with Azu, so that's good for me. Now Azu has loaded energy, and it's Reggie and no shield, so I can just throw the Hydro Pump safely, but I'm farming a little bit more, because who knows if he swaps out afterwards. And I was also anticipating that he's gonna swap out on the charge move, but I think he was hoping I have no Hydro Pump. So at this point I cannot tank another one, just because my health is low, so I need to swap out on the move. Perfect, that's called a sack. I sacked that Flash Cannon, it's gonna do nothing for me, and he's a Flash Cannon range for me, so he's swapping out the Flygon. And Flygon I have never faced in my life, so I'm like, well, what do? I think Flash Cannon would do a big chunk. I know it's kind of glassy, so I'm throwing the Flash Cannon, and I'm like, oh, okay, we are good. But look at this. If it has Earth Power, then I'm done. And it does. So I'm done. And then I have the Ice Beam because I freaked out here, but it looks like it did a pretty big damage with the bubble, so I should have just bubbled it down. And then because I didn't do that, because I didn't know, I had never faced a Flygon before, I'm losing this matchup. But look how close did I get to it. Because if I would have farmed it down, I would have had the Hydro Pump, and I would have just thrown that Hydro Pump, and I would have won this matchup, and that Registeel with like 2 HP wins. Well, we learned a lot. So, awesome, that was 4-1. That's really good, honestly, because usually I get 3 2s lately, and then I see everybody struggling. F36 just posted a video about like how tough it is out there, and Purple Kyogre is at my range with points. I'm pretty sure now he's higher, but yeah, every day I'm gonna get to rank 10 this season, guarantee. So guys, make sure to follow that journey because I'm getting there. And thank you for watching, and make sure to check out the podcast every single Wednesday. Caleb is our next guest, and you know his team is the the 1 metal and 2 grass type, and we're gonna talk about that because I want to break that down. So Guys, thank you for watching, and see you till the next time. And don't forget to check out the podcast right here or here. We're gonna link it in with both 2 previous episodes right here so you can see it, and see you next week.